These are the doodle notes for the skin. So I have here epidermis page, the layers, appendages, and the nail. I'm going to go ahead and do all 4 pages in this video. We'll start with this one, those layers of the epidermis. So here we have the epidermis. We're going to list the layers here and kind of give a little quick description of them, and then list the functions of skin over here. The top layer, let's see, I'm gonna find something colorful. This top layer, which should be up here, that is your stratum corneum. This is the keratinized cells, or the dead cells that get shed off. Like this, you know. The next layer is this one here, and it's the one that looks all grainy, so we know that has to be the granulosum. What's happening in here is they're starting to flatten out. These cells still have stuff inside of them. They're not quite up like this layer. This layer is starting to flatten out and build up keratin. Eventually they're going to be pushed up here where they'll be dead and full of keratin. Our next layer is this one here. Let's go with orange. It's kind of down here too. This picture is really easy to see the differences in the picture, so you don't necessarily have to color, but you know, you enjoy coloring. I enjoy coloring. This is the spinosum. This is where the keratin is going to be made, and it starts coming into the cells, starts accumulating into them. The spiny look, where it gets the spinosum from, is from the different connections between cells. You can see spiny. These cells in the granulosum and all these down below are still alive. It's not until you get up to the very top where you have dead cells. And our bottom layer here that I'm just going to leave plain gray since it's already dark, that's our basal layer. And this is the mitosis layer. So this is where skin is being made. They're being made down here. They get pushed up here where they start holding in keratin. They get pushed up here where they start flattening out and really holding in keratin. And by the time they get up here, they're dead. And this layer can get shed off because it's dead. This bottom box is for our melanocytes. We're gonna do skin color next week. So you'll see more about that later, but melanocytes are the one that give your skin brown color. Melanocytes. And that is this weird looking dude over here is your melanocyte. I'll outline him. They're called that because they produce melanin. Let's go over here and list some skin functions. It protects underneath from the environment. You can get specific if you want to, like you could say water, air, sun, whatever. Sensations like touch and pain. Temperature regulation with sweating and also with the blood vessels dilating and all that. And some vitamin D. I'll leave that one there for a second. I will add one more thing to it. We did not have on this picture the stratum lucidum. This is an example of thin skin, which is most of your skin. But just to be specific, I'll write it up here. That is thin skin. And if you add thick skin where the lucidum would be, I'm gonna put it on the side. It would be here between these top two layers. It's stratum, L-U-C-I-D-U-M. If we had thick skin, it would go right in between those. So now I'm going to go on to the one that says the layers of the skin. If you need to pause me, you can. But I'm going to keep on keeping on so that this video doesn't get too terribly long. Epidermis. I have some highlighters here. I think that might make it easier to color this. Go. Epidermis is yellow. So it is here, here. Just outline it for now so I'm not here for too long. And your epidermis, let's say stratified squamous epithelium. Hopefully you remember what those words mean. Our dermis. Go with pink. So dermis would be all of this. That pink highlighter's starting to die. All of that would be dermis. Made of connective tissue. Actually, I'll go back here and make these like bullet points for you. It has your nerves, the blood vessels, the glands, and the hair, which we have, and the next page is about all those appendages, so we'll be back to that in a minute. And one more thing. There's a wavy boundary between them. You can't see it as much on here. Ooh, yes you can. I put my yellow too low. Apologies. My yellow should be down here. That wavy boundary is called the dermal papillae. If your coloring was a little off, it's okay. It's more important here to see what's in these little speech bubbles. And hypodermis. Let's go with purple. I'm feeling purple. It is down here. And that layer connects the skin to the bone or muscle. It's not technically part of the skin if you'd like to add that too. Next, we're going to move on to the one that says appendages of the skin. So hair, sebaceous gland, sweat gland, and the hair follicle. Hair shaft is the part that sticks out of the epidermis. So let's make our hair, I'm gonna make the hair blue. I feel like making it blue. Blue hair. The hair shaft would be this part. And these are dead keratinized cells too, just like the outside of your skin. That's why you can cut your hair and it doesn't hurt, because they're dead. Sebaceous glands are right here off the side of the hair. You can see one. I'm going to make it green. There's one here. And there's kind of part of one on this other hair over here. These are the oil glands. I forgot to do my word here. Or sebum is the fancy science word for it. So you can see it comes out near the hair, and the job of the oil is to keep your skin and hair nice and lubricated so they don't get too stiff. Sweat glands. There's actually two types of sweat glands like you've seen in your notes, but I don't necessarily see both. It's kind of hard to tell which one is which, so we're just going to kind of just say in general. sweat glands. So that is this guy. And there's another one over here. Show you what I did. The purpose of sweat has to do with your body temperature. The sweat is mostly water. And hair follicles is the actual root of the hair, where the hair is doing mitosis. And let's go with pink again. And the word for that is the root. And the last one will be one about the nail that I'm going to keep super short because we're not getting too specific about nails. Okay. Nails. Tells you down here. We're going to just put the names of different nail parts and then sort of describe them in the bigger boxes. So this here it's a lateral nail fold. It's where the skin kind of comes over the nail. So that would be this area and also that area. The part that sticks up off the point of your finger is called the free edge. You can see in this picture down here, it's looking at it sideways. It's the part that just sticks off the end here. The main middle part is called the nail body. Get a colored pencil for this one. There you go. Man, this person has some funky looking nails. Okay, we're going to write a little more in the bigger boxes. This one is pointing to the little layer of skin right here, which if you get your nails done like I do, you know it's called the cuticle, or the fancy science word. Make sure I'm spelling it right. Eponychium, or the cuticle. Excuse my parentheses there. And it protects the nail bed, or this part that's down underneath your skin. Ooh, my lights just went off, so hopefully this video doesn't go off. Hang on. I'm gonna go wave my arms around to make the lights come back on. Okay, our cuticle is right here. This thing here, the little white part that you have on your nail, is actually called the lanula, like a moon, luna. The reason why it looks white is because that's where the nail is the thickest, so you can't see the skin underneath as much. Let's make this green. And hopefully your nails don't really look like this. I mean, that would kind of be gross, actually. And lastly, the nail bed or the nail matrix. That is where your mitosis is happening to make your nails longer. Let's see, what weird color haven't I used yet? I haven't used any purple yet. Let's use purple. Remember, with these doodle notes, you can always add more if you want to. What I'm showing you kind of is like the minimum. And as we keep going through this trimester and the next one, I'm going to start like backing off and having you guys fill in more. So feel free to make it your own. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know what to do. Send me a message. See you later.